Alright, in this video I'm going to hopefully show you how to set up your own AI coding environment in 5 minutes or less. So what you're going to need for this is VScode, which is a free download, and this is just your coding IDE. So you just go to the website and then download that, and you're going to end up with something like this once you've gone through all the setup things, which is just a basic install. Then what you're going to want to do is download or install Claude Code. Now you might not have to do it this way. It's been a little while since I downloaded it. What you can do is once you're in here, you're going to come down to the marketplace, look up Claude Code, Claude for VScode, 23 million people, and then you're going to download this or install this. And if that doesn't work, you're just going to go to the Claude Code website, grab whatever one of these it is for your specific computer, and then you're going to go terminal, new terminal, and paste whatever one of those codes in there. Now, from here, what we want to do is we want to create a file somewhere on our computer, and then we're going to go File, Open Folder, create a folder on your computer, which will usually be called a directory, and then you're going to open it up in here. So I've already made a little default folder, and my folder's already got a bunch of different things in here, so you're not going to have this. But the main thing I want to go through with you is this CLAUDE.md file. This is basically the file that's going to load every single time you open up Claude. So if you've gone ahead and downloaded Claude on here, you'll be able to open it up with this little thing in the side here. If you do not have that and you're using the terminal, you go new terminal, Claude, and then trust the folder, and you can do it through there as well. But to keep it nice and simple for you guys, I'm just going to keep using the side chat. Now every time I start this up, it's going to automatically read this CLAUDE.md file. So in here you can see this is just a default template, but you say, what is this? Workspace, Claude user relationship, what is the file structure? So if we look in here, you can see this file, core context always loaded, setup.md, shell alias, I've deleted those out of here, that's just stuff that you don't need. Then the .claude file, this is what you use for your commands and skills. So think of commands as like saved prompts. So I've got one in here that creates a plan, I've got one in here that saves the workspace. These are just a few random little ones I made a while ago, and they're not exactly all relevant to this workspace. And then in skills, I have a MCP integration and a skill creator skill, which I'll show you how to find these things in a minute. Then apps, this is just where I want to store any snippets of code I might have created. Context, this is just a folder with a bit more context. So if you're creating this for your business or something like that, you can load all that information in there. Then documents, this is just any documents you might want to reference. So they're not going to load straight away, but if you're using different sorts of things, you can just save some templates or documents and different bits of information in there. It's basically your knowledge base for just referencing things. And then plans. So one thing you might want to do when you're using these types of workspaces, if you're asking the AI to do a big complicated problem, sometimes it's probably going to take more than one prompt. But one thing that's quite handy is you can go, oh, can you create a plan for me? And I think in the command here, I have create plan skill or command, which you access down here by going / let's go create, and then you can see I can quickly pull in the create plan. Additionally, if I go I can look up different files, so files and folders and things like that, but you get the idea. And then once you've created the plan, I've got to implement command as well. So it just implements the plan, but basically you can review the plan before you go through. And also having the plans here kind of helps you keep track of what's been done and what you're doing. Additionally, if you need to change chat or the chat's run out of context or memory, you can create a handoff plan so that when you start a new chat off, it has context of what you've just finished doing. Plugins, so you can download a whole bunch of other people's skills and prompts and things from the internet, which I'll show you how to do in a second. You can save them all to this .claude file, but sometimes it's getting a bit built up and gets a bit messy, so I like to have a plugins folder so I can just save them all there. And then projects. So this is the folder I use the most, and basically what I do for this is every time I start a new specific task, I just create a folder for that task. Now, obviously, if it's a tiny little task, I'll just tell the AI to do it. But if I'm doing a big sort of something like, you know, let's say you're creating a landing page, I'll just create a folder for that specific landing page or that project. And then once I'm done, maybe I move it up to apps, or maybe I move the documents I've created to documents, or whatever you want with it. But basically this just helps it stay a bit more organized, having projects here. And then maybe you have something that's called invoices and you're processing invoices or something like that. And it's really just designed to help you stay a little bit more organized. Then for skills, so the main one you want to go to is github.com/Anthropic. So this is all the Anthropic's skills. Just be aware that when you start up Claude Code, which I need to get next update, so they might have changed it, but generally it doesn't have any of the skills already downloaded that it does when you use just the normal Claude. So normal Claude is going to have all these other skills under the hood for you, but then when you're using Claude Code, it doesn't have any of those. So you want to come here, go to skills, go skills again, and then you can see in here it's got Canvas design, Claude API, docx, PDF. So these are the default skills that Claude automatically has access to, which Claude Code is not going to have access to these. And probably the number one skill of these that you just want to have is the skill creator skill. So if you have a task or something that you're always doing, you can create a skill for that instead of you having to go through the process of prompting it 5 times to do one single thing. You can create a skill for it, save it to here as another skill folder, and then you'll be able to just call it here with everything else. But you can see there's already a bunch of default skills in here. So if I just go / and scroll down, you can see these are the skills I already have in here. Additionally, when you do that, you can see I can switch model, which I'm on Sonnet for the moment. And then thinking, switch models, account, output styles, hooks, memory. So there's a whole bunch of things in there that you can play around with. But basically, I just wanted to do these videos to show you how you can quickly set up these sort of workspace environments, because in some of the following videos, I'm going to show you how you can create a whole bunch of different things using this setup.